Before we get started, I just want to give a quick rundown of what this is all about. This is part 1 of me explaining who I am, my history with basketball, and all my inspirations on how I became a basketball trainer. Part 2 is going to be how I became a certified personal trainer and combined that training with basketball and ultimately created the brand that I have on my chest here. So you'll hear more about that later on. If you look at the video timeline, you'll notice that I broke it down into different chapters. That way you can easily navigate the different parts of the video that you want to see the most. However, I will say that this video is wildly entertaining. I brought in some pictures from my childhood and I brought in some videos for my training sessions. That way you can visualize as I tell the story. Other than that, I hope you find it entertaining, and if you do, please give it a like and subscribe. And that's it for now. Let's tap in. What's up everyone, my name is Gabe Sandoval, aka Quicksand, and it's quick because I'm quick on my feet, and I'm also a quick thinker, and sand because my last name is Sandoval. So you put those together and you get Quicksand. Basketball has been a huge part of my life for as long as I can remember. My pops is the one that put me on game when I was a baby, and actually, come to think about it, he's the original Quicksand. That's funny. So you know he had to pass the name down to your boy because, you know, quickness doesn't last that long. Look, no downplay on my pops. He was a hooper back then and he still is a hooper, and he will give you buckets. Stop playing. Telling a client and I a story before the workout ended, and my pops was saying that his homies would call him, "Yo Sam, where you at? Come to Peck Park, come hoop." And my dad would be like, "Man, dude, I have Gabriel, man, he's still a baby, right? 6 months or whatever the case is." And I'm like, "Man, pull up anyway, just have him in the crib right next to the sideline," right? Why am I still on the phone? Right next to the sideline. He's like, "All right, man, I'm gonna go do that." And so he would pull up with me in the crib or me in the little car seat, put me on the sideline, and then be hooping. If I started crying, he would go, "All right, yeah, someone take my spot. I'm gonna go handle this real quick, get him to stop crying, hold me, and then put me back," right? So basketball is literally in my blood. This is what I do, and I'm so glad that I'm able to be a trainer and give my knowledge and my skill sets to be able to put on other people. As I'm sitting here reminiscing on childhood memories, something that my mom used to always tell me popped in my head, and she still tells me to this day. Before a game, before practice, before a test, before you train a client, anything that gives you anxiety or gets your mind racing, just take a breath and say, it's all about this and this. It's all about your mind and it's all about your heart. Alright, so if your mind is focused and you can see yourself accomplishing and being successful in whatever you're going to step into, that's all you need. If your heart is all in and you have no fear, no matter how big a person is or how small or how fast or how much more athletic they are, if you have a heart and you have grit and you know that you've been putting in the work, then you're just gonna go all out and give it everything you have. And that's all you can ask of yourself. It's all about this and this. Love you, Mom.
Point play.
I had so many Jordan shoes growing up that my nickname was Air for Air Jordan. My first pair of shoes that I ever had as a baby were the Jordan 10s, which I'll show here. Along to go with the shoes, I also had jerseys of all the superstars in the league, which were Jordan, Kobe, Shaq, McGrady, Hardaway, Paul Pierce, Michael Vick jerseys, an NFL player, right? So the list goes on. So I had all the gear, and I just had that mindset instilled in me that sports were going to be what I was going to do. One of the coolest things that my pops has been able to do for me over the last 20 plus years, and still to this day he does it, is to record every single basketball game that I've been a part of. So we have footage from when I was a kid, maybe 5 years old, and he's recording on the sideline on a handheld camcorder, which went straight to VCR. And then eventually, as technology got better, it went to CDs. And then in 2007 and 2008, the iPhone came out, the first ever iPhone, which it had a camera on the back and it was super HD and all that, right? So I would take the footage, put it into a software, there was an app on the iPhone, and then putting it all together with music, and then eventually having it to where I can post it. So my first ever video here on YouTube was over 10 years ago, and that was September 7th, 2010. The video is titled Killer Crossover, and I'll show the video here. So that's a long time ago. I believe I was 15 or 16 at the time. And from that point on, I was just posting a lot of basketball highlights, individual highlights, team highlights from different travel ball teams and high school teams that I was on. I have over 264 videos posted on here, and not all of them are going to be something that are beneficial for people to watch or they're going to gain something out of it. It's more entertainment purposes. Eventually, as I became a trainer, we started posting more content that can benefit you guys at home during this whole lockdown. So I've been hooping my whole life. I've been editing for over 10 years, and I've been posting for over 10 years on here. But now it's time that I start getting into the vlogging and start putting out new content for you guys to absorb and learn more about me. And I'm excited to actually get into the behind the scenes work of it, so that way you guys can see the hard work that we're putting in with my clients, and you learn it yourself, right? You can learn how to be a trainer, or maybe how it is to be a trainer and what it takes, the dedication behind it. I'm gonna be able to show you guys a great behind the scene look and how I go about my training sessions and how I play or develop and how I help people to lose weight and to gain muscle and gain strength and just honestly learn how to move. So that's where I'm gonna start talking about the training and how I started getting interested in training and where my inspiration has come from. There was a vlog series in 2014 that inspired me a ton, and the vlog series is called 10,000 Hours. The person behind the 10,000 Hours series is named Devin Williams. He's a basketball trainer who back in 2014 wanted to test out the 10,000 hour theory. The 10,000 hour theory is that if you pick a craft and put 10,000 hours of work into it, that you can become a master at that craft.
I introduce you to the hardest workers that I've ever met in my life. Kyle and Maddie Wong test out the 10,000 hour theory and grind to be as good as they can possibly be. After pushing their bodies to the limit all summer, they prepare for the challenges in the upcoming season.
And he documented basically their whole progress. So they weren't that great in the beginning, and then they kept putting in the hours, putting in the work. Their jumper got better, they got faster, they got stronger, and then when the season started, they were balling out like crazy, right? And so they didn't put in 10,000 hours into that summer, but it kept accumulating over time, where he just documents all the work that he was putting in as a trainer, all the things that he was studying, and he would show behind the scenes of footwork, how to do different crossovers, how to work on your jumper, how to work on conditioning. And it was just honestly inspiring for me, because at that time I was in high school in 2014. And so, actually I just graduated high school. So at that point I was just like, I still love to hoop all the time, and I just wanted to keep working on my game. I wanted to get faster, get stronger. And so watching this series just inspired the hell out of me to want to get better every single day. So as he was dropping these episodes, I was also putting in time into my 10,000 hours, right? I had started this back when I was 3 years old, but now that I'm more aware of it and I'm older, now I'm just like, I'm more inspired than ever. So, all the philosophies that I learned and all the life lessons that I learned waking up early and learning how to get in work and be efficient within an hour session, Right now I can bring all that stuff that I've learned, all the experiences, into the trainings that I do now. The cool thing is that when I first started getting into basketball training, I actually met Devin. This was almost 2 years ago. And I went to one of his training sessions at Palisades High School. And I was the only basically adult there. And I was working out with him, you know, I was getting some skill work. And at the very end, I introduced myself to him. And I told him that I'm an up and coming trainer and I just needed some advice. And the advice he said to me was that be the man of your city, or become the man of your city. Be the main trainer that everyone knows and that everyone goes to. And that's how the success is gonna blow, right? Don't think about the bigger picture of social media and all that. Think about being that guy around your area. And so that's what I've been working on ever since he told me that. And you know, I'm so glad that I'm able to share this story with you guys now. So not needing to say anymore, the 10,000 Hour series inspired me a ton. It fueled my fire to become a trainer. And during my college years of maybe 2018, 2019, I was going to Cal State Long Beach. I'd been going there straight after high school. And you know, I was always playing at the rec center, and there was some really good competition constantly. And I was like, well, you know, I already have the skills to be able to, you know, demonstrate and show people. So how about I just record it now? Right? So I had a friend of mine named Beatz. I was like, yo bro, can you record me do some ball handling? I'm gonna do some true ball drills real quick, and I'm just gonna post it to my Instagram. He's like, yeah bro, let me do it. Then I posted that, and then from there I was like, all right, cool, I'm getting some people that are liking my content, let me keep posting it, right? So then I started doing a lot more ball handling, and eventually I started training a kid. His name is Josiah. I call him Josiah Price because he went to Price High School. And this is a kid I've never seen before at the YMCA that I was working at. And I just went up to him and we were just chatting it up. You know, I found out that he was a lefty. He was kind of cold with his handles, but he was still raw and he was still trying to learn. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just take him under my wing. Let's just learn together. You know, I'm starting to get into this training thing, and he wants to have a trainer, so let's do this, right? And so then I started working with him multiple times a week in the summer. And he was getting a lot better, like quick, and I was also getting a lot better as a trainer. And see, with those videos, we really didn't know what we were doing, but we were still just getting the reps in for layups, getting ball handling stuff, getting shooting, right? And so any type of drill that we can do, we were working on it. Josiah is one of the hardest workers that I ever met. He's always willing to learn and willing to make adjustments and changes that are uncomfortable for him. And that was always the bond that we had, right? The relationship that we built over those hours that we put in, were that he trusted me to be able to, you know, help fix his game. And he trusted me as a trainer to be able to give him the knowledge and to do the studying and to bring it upon him to get him better. So, you know, Josiah, shout out to you, man. You're my brother for life. We got to get more sessions in. And also too, shout out to you for, you know, making a D3 roster. You know, so he's out there playing in Vermont. He'll go back there in January, mid-January, and he's gonna be balling out. So, you know, we'll be rooting for you, and we'll be posting your highlights, seeing how you're doing, man. So as I continue to post the sessions of Josiah and I working out, a lot of people started to take note and realizing that I was a trainer. So then I started to pick up on the clientele, and I started to do group sessions. Eventually I ended up being able to do a group session for Pola High School, and it was pretty much due to my really good friend Tim. So Tim was a high school student at that time, and he was working on a project, and he needed to pretty much put a documentary together of basketball training. And so that's what I did for those students at the Boys and Girls Club. Throughout this time, I was becoming better and better every day as a trainer. I started to meet a lot of new people around the area. Then I started posting more on social media, specifically Instagram. And from there, I was able to reach a whole, you know, new set of eyes, right? And I ended up bumping into one of my old friends named Mike Smart. And Mike Smart was volunteering for a team called Frontline, right? Frontline basketball. And Frontline basketball is a family, not a club, right? So they like to work with kids who are not known, who are up and coming. They do everything from, you know, grassroots. Everything's all, you know, volunteering and working with the kids to try to get them better by any means necessary. And so when I started working with Frontline, the main guy there, his name is Seti. So a shout out to you, Seti, for giving me the opportunity to come work with your guys' program. So Frontline was based out of Long Beach, and they would practice at Signal Hill Park. So I would go volunteer my time, maybe 2 hours a week, to go up there and work with, Frontline and SETI and, all the guys that were up there volunteering. And when I would get there, SETI would just give me the floor. He would be like, yo, work on whatever you feel like they should work on, right? If you want to work on some ball handling, want to work on some passing,
there it is,
some finishing at the rim, some shooting, you do it. It's up to you, and it's all yours, right? I'm just here kicking back, watching. And so with that experience, it just helped me out a ton to be able to work with groups, to be able to put, the kids in the right direction. Let's go here, one group there. The last group is working on layups. You guys are working on shooting. You guys are working on dribbling. Ready, go, right? And just having the floor like that just changed my perspective on basketball training as a whole. And I'm so grateful and thankful for SETI to put me on, and for Michael, for Mike to bring me there in the first place. And they're doing some great things out there, and I have a lot of love for sure for them. Eventually, one of the things that changed everything for me was connecting up with Dr. Dish and buying a Dr. Dish shooting machine. And if you don't know what a shooting machine is, basically it's a machine that has a giant net that goes at least 12 to 15 feet up above the backboard. And basically what it does is the machine passes to you and you're able to shoot. If you make it, it passes back to you. And if you miss, the net catches the ball, puts it back into the slot where it can pass it to you, and you can get hundreds and thousands of shots a lot more efficiently than chasing the ball around, going here, waiting for the passer to be able to pass it. There's no waiting game on this. Dr. Dish changed everything for me. It changed my skill set as a trainer, but also as a player, being able to shoot better, being able to be more efficient, and being able to teach the right way. One of my most cherished moments as a basketball trainer occurred last year in July of 2019. My boy Tim, who set up the first Boys and Girls Club clinic, started working at a different Boys and Girls Club in the Harbor City area. It was at this Harbor City Boys and Girls Club where my dad and I were able to bring the Dr. Dish shooting machine to the location to run a shooting camp. Tim and all the staff that he had behind him were in charge of the operation, and my dad and I were just there to set up the machine and help assist in the workouts. We started off by lining all the kids up in one line past half court, and then each of them were able to shoot individually. Eventually we broke it down into groups so that we were able to get some shooting competition and give out some prizes. As you can see, the kids loved it. They'd never seen anything like this. As you can see on everyone's faces, nothing but smiles and positivity. Everyone there was in good spirits, friendly competition. There was a lot of kids in there who had never played basketball before, who just wanted to try shooting on the machine, and they enjoyed it. So, I do plan on doing this more often in the future. This was the last camp that we did right before COVID hit. We already had another one set up for January actually of 2020, but that didn't go through. So, pretty soon when all this thing kind of boils over, we're gonna figure that out. My favorite part about the whole event was that the Boys and Girls Club was able to put some funds together to purchase shirts for all the kids that were there. So as you can see, all the kids are wearing Quicksand Hoops merch, and for me to be able to see that was just like eye-opening. It was just like, dang, there's a lot of opportunity for me to be able to change lives, and I was so proud of that moment for sure. Fortunately for me, I'm still able to train clients even through all this COVID madness. I have a garage gym set up here, and then we have the driveway that you guys are seeing clips of where I do my basketball sessions. So that's how I'm staying busy these days, and also posting content on my social media. And that's how we'll wrap it up. Thanks for sticking around and learning about my history with basketball. If you found this video entertaining and want to see more like this, consider subscribing down below with notifications on. That way you don't miss a beat. Part 2 of this sit down is going to be me explaining my story and history with personal training and how I intertwine that into my brand. Lastly, go follow me on Instagram and TikTok. The links will be in the description below. On Instagram, I post daily motivational videos that I call Quick Talks. And with those talks, you'll get a better understanding of that quicksand mindset, and it'll help you get sharp. I also post 3 to 4 workout videos per week on Instagram and TikTok. And those videos either are basketball or fitness related. So go give me a follow, run those numbers up, and I'll see you guys next time. Tap out.